Tell us about the moment you realised geography is more than just maps and spaces.
When I first think about geography, I don't even think about maps and spaces. I only think that I learned about the significance, like the socio-political significance of maps and spaces when I was at university. I grew up in West London, which was surrounded by various different green spaces. And in those green spaces, I was able to interact with the living world, or nature, as some also may say. And so that's where my interest of geography, or just interaction with the world around me, really began. And from that, when I actually started learning about geography in school, I actually learned about how human influence so easily affects and influences nature. I helped to lead the Decolonising the Curriculum agenda. And in this, I must say, this was 2018, so there wasn't as much urgency around the agenda as there is now. So I kind of was thinking that in curriculums, again broadly, it's kind of always the same writers. Some lecturers may not change the recommended authors or core authors from their programs for years, even decades, and so on and so on. And I really wanted to learn more about voices that I hadn't heard from, and I had lots of questions that weren't answered from the texts, and I know that other people also had the same. And so that's what really came from Decolonising the Curriculum. It's about deconstructing our knowledge. It's about thinking critically and reflecting what we've been learning to really expand knowledge. Knowledge is not perfect, but you can always expand it and continue to learn.
How do you think the climate crisis uniquely impacts the Black diaspora, and what knowledge or action do you think is most urgent?
I think that I can only speak to my own experience because, of course, the Black diaspora in Brazil, in China, in Australia, even France, completely, we have different understandings of life. I think, in fact, everybody's connection to the environmental crisis is unique. But I think for me, my connectedness with the Caribbean really does shape my understanding of the climate crisis. In the UK, I think we are very shielded from the climate crisis. We're not experiencing hurricanes. We're not experiencing +4 degrees of temperature, even though this has been the warmest spring on record.
What are your hopes for the next generation and how they'll engage with climate justice?
I'm actually really excited to see how the next generation are continuing and will continue to engage with climate crises. I hope that they can see that we've tried to do a lot when it comes to impact and trying to minimise the environmental crises. I can't say it's enough. Will it ever be enough? I don't know. Who knows? But I would hope that they don't think that we haven't done enough. I would hope that they are innovative. I would also hope that they amplify voices that haven't been uplifted prior.